Hi, it's Jesi again. So I'm doing another book haul video because 2 days after our September 1st excursion, I went back and did a little bit of damage. So I'm going to go over the books that I bought on my second trip. I'm going to start with a nonfiction book that I've been looking forward to reading called In the Heart of the Sea. It's about the whale ship, the Essex, which supposedly is the story of, the captain and his crew that inspired Melville to write Moby Dick. I'm actually a really big fan of the movie. For those of you who have seen it, it has Chris Hemsworth in it. Love the movie. Inspired me to read the book, along with the fact that I am reading the book Moby Dick. So very much looking forward to reading that. The rest of the books that I got on this book haul are actually, I do plan on reading them, but they're more so for my collection. I collect a lot of hardcover classic books, so some of them are very old, and I can't wait to show them off. I'm going to start with Charles Dickens. Stories for Christmas Time. Also includes A Christmas Carol, which I showed in my last video. I found a nice old copy of that. But I do like to cuddle up and read stories in the wintertime, especially around Christmas. So I'm looking forward to reading different Christmas stories by Charles Dickens. You can't really go wrong. Again, lovely book by lovely author. Very excited to read it. Here I have two, I guess they're not classified as classics. They're just kind of ones that I found. If they are classics, I just haven't recognized them. I don't know them. This first one's called Around the World with Kipling. You guys heard of it or no? It just looked interesting and it sounded interesting. It seems to have a lot of just different stories from around the world, and I want to read it. It looks good. Just basic stories from around the world, whether they're fiction or nonfiction. I guess I'll find out. I look forward to reading it. This one's a fiction story called The Egyptian Princess. Again, it just looked very interesting. Flipping through the books the book and the pages, reading little excerpts. It just seems like a very fun story. And again, both old hard copy books to add to my collection. I then moved on and picked out some more recognizable classics. I went with Robinson Crusoe, and then I also have Swiss Family Robinson. This was actually in the limited edition section. It was only 25 bucks, so I did have to pick it up. It has some beautiful illustrations in it. And again, just two books that I've been wanting to read, and I found them for a really good price, as well as being in the hardcover style that I like to collect. Oh goodness. I then found Vanity Fair. Again, just something that's been on my list. I actually have a very long list of classics that I'm trying to read, so this is one of them. So nothing special, but there it is. I have these two. I'm grouping them together because they're obviously by the same publishing company, but I found Ivanhoe and Crown of Wild Olive by Ruskin. I personally have never heard of it, but I have heard of Ruskin. I even think I've read something by him, so I had to pick it up. I couldn't turn it down. Again, just, beautiful old style books that have that fantastic old book smell, which you really can't go wrong with that. Things that I do plan on reading, but for now they're going to stay taken well care of on my shelf along and next to all the other classics that I have. The next several books are actually collections that I managed to find in the bookstore. I don't know how I'm going to put these up here. I'm going to show off this one because this is a 5-book collection called The Tales of Scotland by Border. Looking through it, we actually found that they're a collection of stories, both, fiction and nonfiction history. We looked at very delicate pages, just very old and very pretty. Glossary of Scottish words, it says. So it's got a little bit of everything in it for the American reader. They were published in 1848. So that was another reason for me picking them up. I like old style books. And I'm Scottish, so I'm actually kind of excited to read a little bit about my heritage too. So one of the main reasons I picked them up. Again, there's 5 copies of these. I'm not going to try to pick up all 5 copies on this video. Unfortunately, this video is not a comedy, so we're not going to watch me drop things. The next set, our collection set, was actually a collection of 12 books. Again, I'm not going to pick up everything, but they're just nice little books, like they say, little masterpieces of literature. There's 12 of them. I got all 12 for $18. Ruskin, Statesman, Emerson, there's Poe, Soldiers and Explorers, like all different stories, like poems by poets and whatnot. And it just seemed like a very nice and interesting collection. They've got the gold leaf on them still a little bit, and they just looked really nice. And for $18, who could pass it down? I mean, there's 12 of these. Again, I'm not going to pick them up because I'm not going to drop them. So if you haven't been to the Book Garden and you're in New Jersey, go. They have fantastic deals. I've got tons and tons of books that I don't have the room for, so I have to go home and do that. But yeah, I look forward to actually, reading these and doing some videos on them and sharing my my thoughts. So that's it. That was my second trip to the Book Garden. 2 days after my first initial trip to the Book Garden. Tells you what kind of place it is. It's wonderful. And that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.